All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to our live session. I'm here with my amazing mum-in-law, and we are in the beautiful Ibiza. We are not here to party. Nice family holiday, nice family vacation, and of course, we have been so excited about doing this, bringing to you guys something that I don't think I've seen anybody do before. We're having a discussion about millennials versus baby boomers. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and I've got my favorite baby boomer with me. Just celebrated her 38th birthday, so she's technically millennial versus millennial. So, how are you feeling? Celebrating your birthday here in Ibiza?
It's been absolutely amazing so far. It's been lovely. I've not been to Ibiza before, so I'm having a wonderful time. But just correct it on that age. I am a proud 65-year-old and wonderful two daughters to my name.
I'm gonna get those lovely daughters to actually film the live as well. I think my memory's low, but you guys can see us both. It will look better that way. You guys filming us, but we're gonna dive straight in. We don't actually want to be too long. We want to dive straight in to give you guys information. I've got people calling my phone the second I go live. I've promoted this for 4 or 5 days. The second I go live, I've got people calling my phone. Those people are baby boomers. Those people are the baby boomers calling my phone, not understanding that I'm actually going to be using my phone to go live right now. But let's dive in. So this is not a competition. It's not a debate. Baby boomers versus millennials. It's a collaboration because we both have so much that we can benefit each other if we work together, we collaborate, if we talk. We have so much that we can work together on. So the first topic we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about money mindset. You know, baby boomers were more taught to stay safe, stay secure, build slowly. Millennials, they're more like, flip the script, multiple streams of income, it's flexibility, being able to work remotely. And I think, for the baby boomer generation, Mum, you'll correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of baby boomers would work a job for 10, 20, 30 years. And that's the way that term that we millennials talk about, I don't want to work a job for 30 years. And some people did work one job for 30 years. So, I mean, do you know some people that actually did that, like stuck in one career, one job?
When I was actually at school, and what our teachers taught us was that you would have a job for life.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the factories, whether you're an engineer or seamstress or whatever.
Yeah.
You would have a job for life. So that's how it was seen when I was at school.
Yeah.
Late 60s, 70s. Things started to change after that.
Yeah.
But that was the main mindset of my generation.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, for us, like just me being a millennial, just thinking about the concept of working a job for 10 years almost sounds a bit scary. And I'm not talking just about myself. I have a bit of a different mindset because of what I do in entrepreneurship. But even before I became a business person, I didn't ever expect to do a job for more than 10 years. It's always going to be, 4, 5, 6 years, jump on, 4, 5, 6 years, jump on to something different. And most of the people around me wouldn't be kept in a job for that long. They'll be fired. Our generation is more likely to get fired after 4 years because we're a little bit more crazy, a little bit more irresponsible, a little bit less, because your generation is all about security. Our generation we would risk a job for that party, for that day, to go to talk to that guy or girl. We would risk a job that we've been doing for maybe 10 years for the right opportunity. Beyonce's coming to town and we have to get that ticket and we know we can't take this day off work, but we're going to do it anyway because Beyonce's performing at the O2, right? Where your generation would, be more...
We would not have done that. Yes, we'd do the partying, but the partying is for the weekend. But it's, or shall I say Sunday? Sunday was the day of partying where families will get together and have a few 3-4 hours and then everybody's back to work again on Monday morning.
Yeah.
But yes, it is a case of you're fixed. You go to work Monday to Friday, whether it's a 9 to 5 or it. The other end of it is the night shift.
Yeah.
Because a lot of our generation was definitely about the night shift.
Yeah.
We were raising, or shall I say, my parents were raising 4 children, plus other family members were raising 4 to 5 children, 6 children.
Yeah.
And so you had no choice. You had to, do what is best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is stick it out.
That's it. All right, cool. Well, again, on money mindset, again, multiple streams of income is a very much a millennial term For me, you know, I love the idea that us millennials are thinking business, thinking more about, yeah, jobs are good, but it's not a good place. It's a good place to start, but not a good place to finish for some people. Having a backup plan, because fortunately for your generation, one job was normally enough. I remember back in the days, maybe daddy goes out to work, mommy stays home with the baby. In my family, that was totally the case. You know, my dad worked a long career. My mom stayed home, raised me and my three brothers. But today, daddy goes out to work. Mummy also goes out to work because the rent is high, the mortgage is high, you know. So it's not as easy now to survive a household on just one stream of income. And you've got to keep jumping around trying to get a better job. So we want to talk about now career paths. So, yeah, well, I mean, we already touched on that, you know, just sticking in one career for a very long time, you know. I think our generation, what do you call it, attention span. We all have ADHD in some way, shape, or form, our generation, because just sticking to one thing, doing one thing that is boring, because not every job is exciting. Most jobs are going to be a bit mundane, boring. So doing that type of job for a long period of time is not something that is really what my generation, the millennials, are really about. We like excitement. We're younger. We want to jump from left to right and do all these different things. Would you like a mojito?
Do you know what? I think I would love a mojito.
We're going to get a mojito.
Again, mojito wasn't around when I was a lot younger, but it is now, and I'm enjoying it.
We're definitely, we're definitely going to get a mojito. Sorry, sir. Can we get one mojito, one virgin mojito? Yes. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah. Virgin because I'm breastfeeding. I mean, no, I'm not breastfeeding. Damn it. I'm not drinking alcohol today. Well, it's cheaper. Let's just say that. But it's your birthday, so you deserve to celebrate with some mojito. This is your 7th one today, right? Or...
No, I'm actually on my 2nd one today.
2nd, 7, 6, 7. Yeah. Millennials, baby boomers. She's lying anyway. Well, so let's move on. Okay, comfort versus experience. So we're talking about travel perspectives. So when it comes to travel, you know, I think I don't want to be offensive, but I think the older generation obviously are more into comfort and relaxing because of their bones and their joints. I'm joking. Yeah. Obviously, I think your generation prioritizes comfort a bit more when it comes to travel. Our generation is just jumping off cliffs because if it looks good on the gram, we're going to do some stupid stuff for the social media. But when you travel, like, but that's you're a bit different. You're a millennial / baby boomer. So when you travel, you seem like you do the crazy stuff. Or what would you say?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a hiker.
Yeah.
So I kind of think that I was probably born in the wrong era. Because
the Jamaican time machine broke.
I think something broke. Whereas I would say my older siblings, would do the comfort stuff, whereas I would definitely be jumping off a cliff, abseiling, and doing all of those crazy stuff, which I really like. Yeah. It's not just about walking on the beach. It's definitely getting in the water.
Yeah.
I'm a swimmer, by the way, and not a lot of baby boomers are swimmers. We're swimmers. And I think it's because I love the outdoors.
Yeah.
And we do all of those. We've done the camping. I used to take the kids camping. And do all of those type of things is what your money could afford.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when the money wasn't affordable and they got into sport, well, boy, that was a different ballgame because, boy, I was up and down on a plane.
Yeah.
So,
I see the stuff that you do. Even when on holiday, we just did some hiking earlier on. Was pushing my little daughter right on the edge of the cliff, walking all the way to the top. And me as a millennial, I'm like, okay, let's go back, guys. My back hurts. He was like, no, we can take this path here. And I was like, wait a minute, we're gonna walk up a cliff and then keep going. The hotel's back there. So even I, as a millennial, was a bit more scared and apprehensive. But you just wanted to keep exploring. So you're definitely a mix between the two. But, you know, travel, again, is something that I think our generation now of millennials, we want that remote freedom. You know, back in your generation, the idea of working maybe 2 hours a day on a Zoom, where even as in your field as a teacher, you've got a friend, I think Marcus, right?
Mhm.
Who works, you know, remotely, you know, does teaching on a Zoom, or people that be able to do that 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day, living in Thailand, living in Bali, living in Portugal, and they get to work remotely, still earning a very good income, but the freedom to travel around, do what they want. That would be like a dream or fantasy back in the day.
If the computer was as it is now, I'm sure that would have been me.
Yeah.
But bear in mind that Amstrad was what I first saw as a computer, and we had an Amstrad.
I don't know what Amstrad is. It sounds like a type of chocolate. But I've heard that's Alan Sugar's.
Alan Sugar's first company.
Yeah, wow.
And he was based in Tottenham.
Wow.
So we did have computers.
Yeah.
But even if it was Alan Sugar's company.
Yeah.
Having the World Wide Web has made things so much easier.
Yeah.
And I think millennials should take advantage of that because that's where their income is coming from.
Yeah.
Or majority of.
Yeah.
The baby boomers, myself, we're still into a little bit more security. And if we're going to get on board with travel and being in the industry, we need to save it because we know what's the next thing is. Because we want to travel, we want to do all those things because it's the niceties of life, it's experience, it's just wonderful.
Yeah. I think this is on the topic of like technology, of course. Technology has enabled millennials like myself to work remotely, just using an iPad, an iPhone, a laptop, an Android, and working anywhere in the world, making 6, some even 7 figures, multiple millions, working remotely in a business, just like what we do. We're going to talk about our business later on. But I think that freedom, again, the ADHD generation, our generation, and the next generation below us, they definitely can't work a job for 30 years. They can't sit down and watch a YouTube video for 30 minutes. If 1 or 2 adverts pop up, we're throwing a hissy fit. So working a job, especially a job that's not so exciting, for 30 years, that is not happening. What's the next generation? So we've got baby boomers, millennials. Next generation is Gen Z.
Gen Zs, yeah.
They're finished. So if you're a Gen Z watching this, log off because you're probably already distracted, probably playing with your Tamagotchi or something like that. But they literally have the shortest attention span. And my daughter, the next generation, Gen Alpha, oh my gosh. Beta, then Alpha. Okay, we got to make sure that we make as much money for them because them working a job for 30 minutes is going to be an issue. They've got so many excuses, so much entitlement. Sorry if I'm offending you guys, but it's very true what I'm saying. But technology has enabled the millennial generation to really have that freedom in a lot of things. But let's talk about something, definition of success. For some, I would say, baby boomer generation, you'll correct me if I'm wrong, my mum's always talking about, get the house, get on the property ladder.
Absolutely.
It's almost a definition of success, and our generation now, of course, maybe because we look at the fact that getting a house, especially in the UK, it's nearly $1 million for a good London house. So we know that most of us are not earning $1 million a year or anywhere close to that level of income. So instead of me saying, success for me is a house, success for me is now having a big following, right? I've got 10K followers and it's growing. Yeah, I'm successful. Or, I get paid to post content, or I get to travel the world, or I've got side hustles here and there. So our definition of success has changed. But was that ingrained in you, back in the days?
No, success for us is a roof over our head, finish paying the mortgage, and then you can live.
Yeah. Okay.
It might be something that's strange to you guys, but back then, the income was not as much as what's happening now.
Yeah.
So it's I really do believe that was the way forward, and that's exactly what I did. It was a case of not necessarily get married, but have a home, have a stable income, so you can look after the children as best you can, and enjoy it as you're going along.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And again, for my generation, I think a few of us millennials, have bought a property. And again, I always take my hats off, to people that have been able to do that because it's a big deal to buy a property in this generation. So it's a huge version of success. But I think a lot of us are looking at other successes.
I do also know that it takes it. Back then, it was 25 years to accomplish that mortgage.
Yeah.
And no matter how much it cost, it was 25 years.
Yeah.
I could have probably bought about 3 houses by now and gone up and up and up. But the wages, the wages didn't match that type of property market. Yeah. So you had to go with what you got.
Definitely. So I just wanted to show we've got a bit of a nice sunset in the background. So you said this is your first time in Ibiza?
First time in Ibiza.
Okay, let's take a little sidebar travel. What is a place, a destination that you can't wait to visit? What's on your bucket list? The number one spot right now?
Oh my gosh, I have done all the continents already, but I'd love to go to Korea.
Korea?
Yeah.
Is that North Korea or South Korea? Or?
Where the K-pops are.
The K-pop, okay. I'm not gonna lie. Lady after my heart. Yeah, is this one alcohol?
Yes.
That looks like it's for her. She's alcoholic. She drinks lots of alcohol. She's her seventh one. That's cool. The second one. A cheers. Toast to
Thank you.
millennials and baby boomers.
Thank you. And to my 65 years on earth.
So I knew it. The virgin one is much sweeter. The other one's a bit bitter. I like that. That's nice. All right. We're going to get ready to wrap up. This has been amazing. We have to do a part 2 of this. So overall, just in summary, I think there's so many differences in, who we are, what we do, what we're like. And okay, yeah, I want to talk about technology and wisdom. Technology and wisdom. And the differences, I think, is so important for, millennials. Keep a good relationship with your parents if you can. Like what I can learn from my mum, what I can learn from my mums, both from my mums, which I'm very blessed to have two mums. I've always wanted two mums. What I can learn is phenomenal. The wisdom is going to be in areas that I could never know. For example, having a baby, right? Never had a baby before. My mums have raised multiple children. They know some things I don't know well, but putting mum in a baby's mouth, still hearing my baby boom is telling me to put Ray nephew. There's a few shots of the baby, not shots. There's a little drop of a shot. But the wisdom is unreal, and you can't buy wisdom. They've been through things before my generation, and again, it takes humility to really wake up and say, why would they want to steer you wrong? It doesn't mean everything that your generation say that you guys did back in the 80s, right? But the majority of stuff you've seen, the holes, and you fell through some holes, you found out some holes, you avoided some potholes, and you know how. You got a little friend down there. Hello, Dodgy. Hey, Dodgy. You can tell this is live. This is a production set. Someone would have been fired for letting the dog on, but the wisdom that you guys had is phenomenal. But the technology that we are comfortable with, you guys are probably looking at us like, how did you do that? But some baby boomers, my mom in particular, she'd be teaching me how to create stuff on the WhatsApp, how to create GIFs, and she's sending me emojis and graphics. I'm like, Mom, how did you even get that? I don't even know how to do that. So I'm not going to say all baby boomers don't know how to use technology, of course. You are definitely very handy with a phone. We are in the travel business together. And I'm going to slowly touch on the travel business. One of the things I'll say, just going off the topic of wisdom versus technology, the wisdom with the baby boomers, the technology with the millennials, the business that we do is specifically designed for all generations. And some of your age mates might look at this business that you're doing and say, oh, Violet, I'm too old for that. I don't know, have you heard that?
Oh, definitely.
So what I would say, our business is about relationships. So I can change your life. Sounds cheesy, but I've got business partners who are earning over £150,000 every 30 days passive income. Meaning if they got locked away in a Bali prison for 30 days, £150,000 will be in their account, regardless of where they are. Even if they pass away, they're still earning this type of income. I've got business partners all over the world making absolute fortunes. I'm just going to start at the top level. Not everybody, but I'm just saying what's possible from our business. Now, our business is about relationships. You may not know more than me about technology, about how to post this and how to upload this and how to use AI for that. But all of that stuff that I know in technology, not that it's irrelevant, but what our business comes down to is relationships. You have relationships with people that are older than me. I'm very sure you've got some school friends that are known them for more than 40 years.
Oh, right? Most definitely.
So if I've known you for 40 years, I get to demand 40 minutes of your time to watch a YouTube video about a business that I'm passionate about. You may not be passionate about the business I do, but you should be passionate about me. I've known you since like World War One, World War Two. Was that? I don't know if that was that. I'm in trouble. I mean, you wasn't in World War One. Or was it World War Two?
I'm a baby boomer, but I wasn't in World War One or Two.
Oh, two. Oh.
You reach your daily limit.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No. It's 15, no? 15. Is it still going, yeah? Thanks. Got my daily limit on my Instagram, telling myself to stop being on Instagram too long. So you was in World War Three anyway. Coming soon.
Sorry. The way things are happening, yes.
Soon come.
We do not want a World War.
We don't want that.
We do not want that.
Yeah, you guys fix up. Ego, men and egos. Anyway, so you wasn't World War One or Two. My apologies. But our business is about relationships. I want to share something with you. You're my friend. I've known you for a long time. I know your struggles. Right now, you might be going through something, struggling financially. You want to make more money in this. You want to quit. You want to retire early. You want to travel with your family and This is a business that can help you to do that. Help you with earning money on your travel, help you with getting professional deals as a travel professional, helping you with building a part-time income weekly and monthly in your spare time with the key of leverage, meaning you don't have to do everything yourself, 10 minutes a day and working with people that are giving you more time. This is a great business. And I think your generation, if they understood this type of business, where leverage, now all of a sudden, back in the days, you could never work a job and have someone else work that job. Do everything for you, hold your hand and support you like that. That wasn't a thing back then.
It was just training, get on with it.
Yeah, you was by yourself. But in this generation, leverage is so key. And our generation love leverage. They love to be able to maybe tell someone to do something for us. And they do it and we get paid for something that someone else is really doing. Because we're more of a lazy generation, let's be honest. So we're going to find lazy and leverage is a similar thing. Now, lazy is not a good thing, but leverage is a good thing. Right now, as we're speaking, I'm leveraging my business partners in New York. I'm about to make about £100 in New York. This is a big event going on while I'm here in Ibiza. I don't know who's going to be there. I don't know what's going to be happening, but I've got business partners who are serious and focused about our business and what we do. And they're going to be educating people in Brooklyn, New York about our information. And when I get back to my hotel room, I'm going to check my back office and I'm going to see that I've made roughly £100 from New York while in Ibiza. And that's leverage. I'm not in New York. I'm in Ibiza and I don't need to be there. And you've got business partners in Cayman Islands, right?
Yep.
In Tottenham, unfortunately. Where else? You got business? Atlanta or?
No, New York. In fact, it's New Jersey. So New Jersey, Jamaica, Cayman Islands.
Fantastic. So while you're here getting drunk in your 7th mojito, you've got business partners around the world. Some of them are second team mojito. You've got business partners that are booking trips, booking flights, booking hotels, booking cruises, rental cars, and you've been able to earn a commission from the work they're doing. You've got business partners that will be sharing the business, and you've been able to earn a commission while here. So that's a baby boomer, knowing what you know today. If you can go back in time, what sort of changes would you make in terms of finance or business or, whether starting a business or thinking of long-term money? What would you think?
I think I would actually, if I really could go back, I think I would actually do a business of my own. Because I think it's because I've always been trying to do a little business, and I say little because it's not nothing big or major.
Yeah.
Because we do, I think our generation do a lot of things voluntarily as well.
Yeah.
So rather than doing it totally voluntarily all the time for absolutely nothing, I'd actually turn some of those volunteer stuff that I did into a business, and monetize it. The word monetize, I didn't even know that for maybe about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So it wasn't on my radar. It was, you go to schools, you go to university if you're capable of doing that.
Yeah.
Or if you want to, apprenticeship.
Yeah.
And take on your job, get your property, live. That's it.
Yeah.
But yes, going backwards, I would.
Yeah.
I would certainly do a business.
That word monetize, I almost feel it's like a millennial word. I don't think it was said back in the days. For example, I could be good at, peeling onions. I could be the best.
The word may have come out of millennials.
Yeah.
But believe me, it started with us.
No, it started with you, but in terms
because
of
it would have been my generation to have monetized a lot of things for you guys to jump on board. That's how I feel about it. So I'm actually having a little bit of
a back and forth, but a bit of sparring session. But I think like monetizing anything.
Yeah.
I think
there's definitely you guys that do that far better.
Yeah. So you guys might monetize things that make sense. Let's say you're a very good netball coach.
Yeah.
You're gonna monetize that. You're gonna now coach that person's daughter and you're gonna make £50 an hour, whatever it is.
I would never have monetized that. I would have done that voluntarily.
Okay. So now knowing what you know today about the bills, we should have monetized.
We should have monetized that.
And you taught your daughter.
And my daughter took on the role of monetizing it.
See? So you would have done it for free, but there's no way your daughter would do that for free.
Yeah, right? But there's always something about inspiration.
Yeah.
Or somebody had to pioneer something for somebody else to do it. So I really believe that my generation.
You walk so she could run.
Absolutely, we're pioneers.
Love that. And honestly, because like I said, I could be something so random. I could be the best at cutting onions. I could cut onions so fast. And I can monetize that by charging people £1 to join my private lives on Facebook. to watch how I cut onions. And if you want to be a chef or if you just want to cook in a fancy way for your partner, cut onions. It's something so silly like that. You could, as a millennial, we monetize the most nonsense thing. I mean, some of us are monetizing things we really shouldn't be. Like there's some nonsense on the internet right now. And people are making fortune. I'm not even going to mention, but people making fortunes monetizing things that shouldn't be illegal or just a really scummy nonsense. So we've definitely taken that word monetize and done it.
Yeah.
Any and everything.
You've used it.
Yeah, we use it a lot. So what we're going to close out now. I think that was all of the topics that we wanted to talk about. We want to do a part 2 of this, and let us know in the chat, in the comments, any topics that you would like to know about from a baby boomer, from a millennial, and overall, just closing on this, I really think we should respect each other's differences. It's not about who's better and this and that. It's about coming together, keeping a good relationship. If you're a millennial, one advice I could give you: keep a good relationship with your friends, with your family, with people around you who are baby boomers, who are any generation older than you. They have wisdom in lots of areas that you definitely are getting for free just by talking to them. So keep that relationship. You don't know what you don't know, and by being humble enough to listen and learn, you can really grow a lot. So closing, we are looking for business partners, whether you're a baby boomer or a millennial, whether you have done a business before, whether you're ambitious, entrepreneur. I think everybody in this day and age, in this economy, understands the importance of making more money. If you want to live a comfortable life, you need more money. And it's not our fault. It's the way the world has been made. The economy, the government, the powers that be have forced you to have money or to suffer. If you don't have enough money, it's not pretty. Where your child goes to school, the quality of food you eat, the neighborhood you're going to live in, so many the freedom you're going to have. Can you afford a massage at the end of the week of a long, hard day at work? And after working for 10, 20 years, if you are in a place where you need to do that job and you're being bullied, taken advantage of, and now your quality of life, your happiness is diminishing because you can't quit the job because you need to pay bills, but you're being taken advantage of, you're being bullied and things like that at the job. And I've experienced that myself. I've seen my parents experience that. And again, having options and freedom and flexibility just gives you a bit more options in doing things. So, you have been involved in our business, and I'm so, so proud of you. You are building up a solid part-time income, a full-time income, working, in your spare time. How does it feel to know that you make money online, in the travel industry?
Listen, I'm actually enjoying this because I never thought I could. I've had to learn very quickly, and not just learn how to maneuver, but learn how to work the system. And I'm actually quite proud of myself, to be honest.
I'm super proud.
That I'm able to have a look at my back office and see some money.
Yeah.
It's actually quite fun.
Yeah.
And also to help some of my peers.
Yeah.
Which is something I really want to do more of.
Yeah. Absolutely. I can see you're getting cold and I'm getting cold too, so we need to go in.
Yeah.
It looks like a beautiful sunset over there, but it's getting to nighttime and it's getting a bit cold. So, but we're going to close out. So guys, and for me, very fortunate I've got one of the best mentors in the game. So anybody that you partner with, any of your generation, the baby boomers, get in touch with Violet. Give her a call. When you see this, we're going to send it to all of you. Just check it out. You don't have to join. You don't have to pay anything. You don't have to invest. You just have to see it. If you are comfortable and you don't need any more help in anything, great. We are happy for you. But if you are someone that's looking for more from life, more travel, more fun, more freedom, early retirement, or you genuinely have big goals and ambitions you want to make 10, 20, 30,000 a month, you want to buy a church in Africa, you want to build a school in Thailand, whatever it is you want to do that's big, this is the business for it. Even if you want to say small, an extra £50 a month, passive income could pay for that spa at the end of the month, that to treat yourself. Whatever it is, get in touch with Violet, get in touch with myself. We are looking for ambitious people that want to travel, that want to make money, want to work remotely, want to just have a backup plan and an opportunity to pass down a legacy.
Absolutely.
Now, closing on legacy, it's so important that, the next generation, my generation, does a lot to make sure our children have something, not for yourself, because I know you work very hard to make sure your daughters have some good stuff, but there's so many baby boomers who've left nothing more than ice cubes and mojitos for the next generation. There's so many baby boomers that have left absolutely nothing. They've worked for 10, 20, 30 years and for their children, absolutely nothing will be passed down. The Bible talks about a good man leaves an inheritance for his children. And I think that's so important to make sure if you're going to be working so hard for 10, 20, 30 years, something has to go down to the next generation. My daughter's going to know what I did, what her mum did over these years in our millennial, while God's blessed us with youth and able body and able mind. What are we going to do to impact the next generation? Because the work we do in a traditional job impacts our bosses generation. Absolutely. The boss I worked for on Sky TV, I helped him become a millionaire. I made him £1 million worth of work and content, and his daughter was in the best school. His son drove a Lamborghini. I contributed to that. So if I can contribute to another man, another woman living that life, why would I not do that for my own daughter, my own son, my own family?
See, now you've become the pioneer.
That's it. And be a boss or work for one. You've got to. Generational wealth doesn't come from any job, unless certain jobs like footballers, you get crazy money and then you pass it down, but not all of us play football like me. So, yeah, we're going to close it now. That was absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Baby boomer millennial tuning out, and we might see you on the next one. Let's go, millennials. Thank you, guys. See you soon.